Yo, 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 what's up people? Starting off on the free-to-play account here, but we're going to jump over onto the main. So that I wanted to start here because we have done the event, the Gear Ascension tournament, so that we can get the Prism Shards. Because they just look like a good bunch of champions in this summon pool this time. We've got Vulcanos there, Demon Spawn. Yeah, it's all Demon Spawns, even though they could have just called it Demon Spawns, but whatever. Yeah, there's quite a lot of good champions in this, especially in, obviously, the Legendary category. But then even if we could get someone like Allure, that would help with like Fire Knight and stuff like that. So I did, like I say, I did finish the tournament, got these Prism Shards, so we're just going to quickly pull it now. We'll see, will we get our first Prism Shard Legendary pull on this account or not? I think probably not. But like I say, if we do get in Epic, I'm hoping it's Allure. So let's give it a go. Epic. Dirty Catter. She's alright. I mean, she helps people with Demon Lord early on if you do pull her like really early, because she can do a lot of poison and stuff like that with her passive. So I think it's, yeah, whenever anybody on your team essentially lands a crit on an enemy under Hex, which she does place, then it puts a poison on them. So all, but as well, in all battles, aura as well, which obviously is not as good as someone like Deacon or anything like that, but you know, it is what it is. And then the poison sensitivity, making the poisons do more damage. So she's, you know, not too bad, but definitely like single target and very early kind of progression. So nothing too useful for us. But basically, they've announced yesterday the next fusion, and it's finally happening. We're actually getting a new Hound for the Packmaster fusion that we did. I think it was over a year. It was the beginning of July last year. Apparently, was the Packmaster Shy'ek fusion. It's been over a year. So I did do that on my main account, because obviously this account didn't exist then, and obviously it was under the, you know, the impression that they were going to release more Hounds. I'm sure they like either strongly hinted at it or they said it upright that we're going to do more Hounds. Now this is going to be the first one that they're going to have released since. So I don't know whether it's just going to stop there or they might have more down the line. But hey ho, let's take a quick look at what this dude does. So here it is, Crowcad the Throat Ripper. So a lot of his abilities you're going to see will synchronize with the Packmaster, and the Packmaster himself will have his kit changed to include this guy, because if we quickly just jump back to the game and we'll have a look. Yeah, so you see in the Packmaster's skills it says the names of all of the current Hounds that he works with within the game. So obviously on Monday, once this champion's then in the game, his name will get added in there. But yeah, let's quickly switch back to the new champion. Yeah, so A1, AoE, and the attack, it's like Mashal's, where his attacks deal single target damage rather than actual AoE damage, which is really good because on things like, you know, bosses and Hydra and stuff like that, they take reduced damage from AoE damage. So by having the damage being AoE but it inflicts single target damage, it doesn't then reduce that. So he's still going to do like a decent hit there. And then he's going to ignore the reflect damage, which I'm going to forget some of the names of the heads, but one of them does put reflect damage on them all if you're unlucky and you don't have like block buffs up. Pain Link can ignore that, and ally protection as well. So straight away he's ignoring 3 mechanics that the Hydra does. And then he's got another bit here, double damage when he's counter-attacking if Packmaster Shy'ek is on a team, which, if I remember rightly, I'm just going to quickly check Packmaster's. Yeah, so on Packmaster's passive, it says when this champion is attacked, so when the Packmaster is attacked, all ally Hounds will counter-attack. So every time one of the Hydras hits the Packmaster, he's automatically going to obviously counter-attack with this, but it'll deal double damage when it is the counter-attack. And obviously that has to happen anyway. Like, he has to be on the team for that to even happen anyway, so you know that just works. So his A2 does go down to a 3-turn cooldown and 100% chance. So it's another AoE, but this one's an actual AoE, not the single target hits. Places an extra hit on enemies under 2 or more debuffs, which realistically in Hydra, that's probably going to be the case. So it's going to be a double hit, and then, like I say, bucked up to 100% chance of placing Leech and Weaken for 2 turns. They cannot be resisted if he's on the team, so you don't have to worry about building any accuracy on this guy. You can just go straight damage, 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 which is nice. And then his A3, to single target hit, ignores 50% defense, as well as life barrier and poison clouds. So there's another 2 Hydra mechanics that he's completely ignoring. That's 5 in total, which, you know, I don't know if there's really any other champions in the game which essentially just completely ignore the mechanics of Hydra, so you can tell that this guy is just straight up built for this. And effects that redirect damage. Oh, there's another one, redirect and damage. That's the Head of Mischief, where he makes you attack someone else. I believe if you've got Hex on the Mischief Mischief head, you can still attack him, if I remember rightly. But if you don't, then he can make you just hit a different head, which can make things go tits up. Repeats this attack once if he's on the team. Again, a 3-turn cooldown. So he's going to do a double hit with this. Right, so the passive, this is where things really kick into a bit of the next level for this guy. So if you don't have Packmaster on the team, increases his attack by 5%, stacking up to 25% when you kill an enemy or decapitate a Hydra head. But then when Packmaster is on the team, it's doubled. So it's 10% each kill or decapitation, up to 50%, which that's pretty wild. And then if Packmaster again is on the team, when an ally gets eaten by the Hydra, it does big single target smack on the head that's consumed the ally. Probably, if these multipliers are good, you're probably guaranteed that every time an ally, not him, every time an ally gets eaten, again, they're just straight out. So that's yet another, essentially, Hydra mechanic, just completely negated by this guy. So having 2 champions in your Hydra team to unlock all this stuff in your team is pretty wild. And then that's not even taking into consideration the stuff that the Packmaster himself does. So let's just jump back and look at him. So his A1, chance to put decreased defense. Then he does an ally attack with all of his hounds. A2, removing debuffs from himself and then heals him for 50% of his max hit and shield on himself. The value of the shield is equal to any surplus heal. The shield buff cannot be removed, stolen, transferred if at least 1 hound is there, so it's a protected shield then. And then places taunt and reflect damage on himself. Cannot be removed, stolen, transferred. So there's 3 buffs on himself. I don't know how taunt works in Hydra anymore. I know this is one of the things that they screwed over a long time ago for Hydra. I don't even know if taunt does anything anymore in Hydra, but we can find that out, or I can look it up. Right, A3, quite a big turn meter fill. 100% chance of placing block buffs when it's booked on all enemies for 2 turns. Cannot be resisted if he's got a Hound on a team. Then his passive, when attack places Hex on the attacker, ally attacks on target under Hex placed by himself deal more damage. Now, I watched Nubs' video about the new champion last night, and what he was saying is that this actually just means that once a Hex is on the enemy, it's just all damage. It's not because the rest of this passive is to do with the counter attacking of the Hound. It's not just that, it's as soon as Hex is on the heads of the Hydra, for example, all damage is increased by 20%. And then we've got a speed in all battles by 19%. So we've got Hex going out there, we've got the block buffs going out there. Now I don't know, because this can't be resisted if you've got a Hound there, I don't know if you still need accuracy just purely for the Hex. I don't know how that's going to work, so again we'll have to find that out. And then I suppose, yeah, there's this decreased defense as well that will probably need accuracy. So yeah, it's a bit funky. I think it probably would have been better if they just made it so that any debuffs he puts out, as long as there's a Hound there, it's irresistible. So on my main account, I will be definitely going for this guy. I'm probably not going to bother on this free-to-play account. Just because I don't think I can be bothered or have the spare time to try and focus on doing 2 fusions at once at the minute. I mean, I probably could, because I think it's going to be a fragment one. And on this account, obviously, I've been just stacking everything up because we've done nothing really on this for a while now. So, you know, we've got quite a lot of shards there. Silver's still a bit meh. But in general, like, I think we'd be fine if we wanted to do it. But personally, on this account, I'm not seeing, like, it'd probably be useful to have. It's not going to be like game changing enough on this to warrant doing it. So I think I'll just give it a miss on this account. Just keep stacking things up for maybe the next one. But we'll definitely do this one on my main, because again, I do have Packmaster, and it's been a while since I've done much on my main account, so we can take the opportunity to go through it and just sort everything out, clear out all the crap that's just been building up over the last, you know, half a year or so that I've been doing this free-to-play account and just not done anything. And then just, you know, have some fun on that, try and bring it back up a little bit. So I think what I'll do is on Saturday I've got some free time, so I'll do another video and we'll, you know, just sort of prepare the main account for this fusion, and we'll go through what sort of stuff we might need and all that, because energy's just built up and up and up over like the last half a year or so on that account. So I've got loads of energy just sat there doing nothing. I think I've got quite a load of gems as well. Shards isn't as high as you'd expect, because every so often when there is like a summon event and I'm not doing it on this and I just feel like I want a bit of, like, you know, a bit of dopamine hit, I did quite often just jump onto that account and just pull the shards. So I've got quite a few like legendaries that are just pretty meh and just sat there, so they'll go into like the champion training tournaments and all that crap just for some easier points. But I know that the shards that I do have a lot of on that is the ancient shards. I think we're at about 200 on that. So if they do a good like champion chase event with the 2 times on ancients, we've got quite a good stack. Like I say, we'll do that on Saturday. We'll jump onto that account, give it a good, you know, a bit of a clear out and a go over of what we want, what we need to do for that fusion. So yeah, so I'll just leave this one here. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.